Welcome to Vantage, Aditya. The lights dim, the giant screen glows, and there he is, Mark Zuckerberg, standing tall in front of an eager crowd at Metacon 2025, holding in his hands not just another gadget but a vision of the future wrapped in a sleek pair of Ray-Ban frames. He announces them as the next leap forward, the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, priced at $799, launching in the United States this September. A device that does not merely sit on your face, but sits on your very perception of reality. The crowd applauds, flashes go off, social media streams explode with hashtags, and yet behind the applause there is an unease, because what Zuckerberg has revealed is not just eyewear, it is a question about how much of ourselves we are willing to give away in exchange for seamless convenience. He describes the display hidden in the lens, a floating digital square that shows you notifications, directions, captions, even live translations, controlled by a new neural wristband that can read the micro-gestures of your hand. He explains how Meta AI is now built into the device, ready to whisper answers, translate speech in real time, and even identify objects in your environment. He promises freedom from screens, freedom from fumbling phones, freedom from missing moments. The world is now hands-free, eyes-first, and AI-assisted. To some, it sounds like magic. To others, it sounds like a new form of chain. And then come the numbers, the statistics meant to dazzle. Meta has already sold over 2 million units of its Ray-Ban Meta glasses to date. Sales in the first half of 2025 have tripled compared to the previous year. Production capacity, thanks to the Essilor-Luxottica partnership, is expected to reach 10 million units by the end of 2026. The market for augmented reality devices is forecast to grow nearly 40% this year, and Meta is at the center of this storm. A new Oakley Vanguard model aimed at athletes launches at $499 with better durability, better water resistance, and 9 hours of battery life, while the upgraded non-display Ray-Ban Meta line comes in at $379. Meta has poured 3 billion euros into Essilor-Luxottica, securing a stake in the company and locking this alliance into the next decade. The vision is not just about a device, but about a future ecosystem of wearables, data, and AI-driven services. But numbers never tell the whole story. Behind the applause, there are shadows. Imagine a world where your glasses know not just where you go, but what you look at. How long your gaze lingers, when your pupils dilate, when you glance away in discomfort. Imagine walking through a store and the glasses knowing you almost picked the red can but settled for the blue, and then the red begins to haunt your ads, your feeds, your suggestions until one day you buy it without realizing you never truly chose. Imagine your employer handing you a pair of these glasses as a productivity tool, encouraging you to wear them at work, and then, gradually, every meeting, every conversation, every sigh is captured, logged, stored, and analyzed, until freedom at work is replaced by invisible digital chains. The danger is not only surveillance, but predictive manipulation. The glasses can nudge you long before you notice the nudge. They do not need to force you. They only need to tilt your perception by a few degrees, show you one option more brightly than another, one message earlier than another, one translation slightly tilted in tone, until the invisible hand has shaped your decision while you believe it was your own. And the scariest part is that all of this can happen quietly, beautifully, stylishly, in the guise of a fashion accessory you bought because it looked cool. And yet the promise is not entirely dark. For a student struggling to read, these glasses can overlay captions, translate languages, describe objects. For someone visually impaired, they can narrate the world. For an athlete, the Oakley Vanguard can track performance, sync with Strava and Garmin, help avoid injury, give real-time insights that a phone never could. For a traveler, conversations can flow across languages. Barriers dissolve as live translation turns strangers into companions. There is magic here, a kind of digital symbiosis where human ability is extended by silicon and software. But the darker side always lurks close. Privacy settings have been altered. Meta's updated policies now keep audio interactions for up to a year, sometimes by default. Accidental triggers may be deleted after 90 days, but full conversations with Meta AI can be stored far longer, used to improve models, perhaps to train systems that know you better than you know yourself. The cloud is both the strength and the weakness, a vault of data that could empower you or betray you depending on who holds the key. Think about social life in this new era. Today, if someone points a phone at you, you know they are recording. Tomorrow, if everyone wears glasses capable of streaming, recording, analyzing, you may never know if you are being observed. The LED indicator might blink, but in sunlight, who notices? In crowds, who cares? Privacy does not vanish with a bang, but with the slow acceptance that you cannot fight fashion. When surveillance becomes stylish, resistance becomes awkward. Zuckerberg paints this as a step toward the metaverse, a world where digital layers overlay physical spaces, where AI is your ever-present companion. But critics warn this is a step toward surveillance capitalism embedded not in your pocket, but in your body, a constant tether where every gesture, every hesitation, every nervous blink is monetized. The danger is not that someone will take your data. The danger is that you will give it willingly in exchange for convenience, believing you are free while invisible strings pull you tighter. And so the future splits. In one path, glasses become tools of empowerment. They make the world more accessible. They reduce digital friction. They open doors for creativity, learning, and independence. In the other path, glasses become tools of manipulation, of corporate profit, of subtle psychological conditioning where choice is an illusion. Which path we walk will depend not just on Meta, not just on regulation, but on us. What we accept, what we resist, what we normalize. But let me ask you this. If tomorrow Zuckerberg handed you a free pair of these new Meta display glasses, the full $799 model with neural wristband, translation, notifications, AI companion, and seamless display, would you wear them? Would you embrace the magic knowing that every conversation might be stored, that every glance might be analyzed, that every hesitation might become a data point? Or would you refuse, knowing that refusal might mean being left behind in a world where everyone else is augmented, connected, enhanced? That is the dilemma. Freedom or convenience? Privacy or progress? Presence or perception? Which would you choose? Subscribe to Vantage Aditya for more explorations into technology, leadership, and the unseen truths shaping our future. And share your answer, because in the end, the question is not what the glasses see, but what we are willing to let them see.